So. Yeah.
Hello, kids.
And I mean, not to take away from the performance, I mean, Harold's funny.
Okay. Get the party going.
There's a party.
There's a party. Sue's ready. We're ready. What's the time? I'm not gonna get it right. Big deep breath. So clasp your fingers together at the top and then just go up and over to one side. And then go up and over to the other. And just, oscillate between the two. Hang out in this spot if it feels good. Couple more. Okay, let's bring the elbows by your side and then scoot them all the way back. Pull them in towards each other and pull halfway down. Come back up. This is such a good exercise to start your day. You can do this every day because it's so good for you. Keep the elbows down, you're waking up your upper back. Keep the belly in. Let's just do a couple more. So try to move your hips back and weight into your heels as you go up and down here. One more. Nice. Now take the arms all the way up, reach for the ceiling. And let's do a nice slow swan dive all the way down. You're gonna be mindful here to let that head go. As soon as you get down, you're gonna inhale to a flat back. And then fold back into the legs. And then just do that again. Inhale to a flat back. Really try to breathe today. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhale, look up. And exhale, relax down. Take your hands to the floor, step back into plank. Move your knees in so they're under the hips to bear. Put the knees on the floor. Start your cat-cow. So you're rounding, looking at the knees, and then reversing it. So you really drop into the shoulders, take your gaze forward, and then just at a nice, comfortable pace, keep this going. Again, beginning and ending with a breath if you can. I'll keep reminding you how important it is to breathe. Okay, so let's make sure our toes are tucked under if they're not already. You're gonna lift up into bear and you're gonna squeeze your knees together and then put them back down. Lift up, squeeze the knees and lower. Lift up, squeeze and lower. One more time. Squeeze and lower. Slide the left leg back, get it nice and straight, lift it off the floor. Try not to let your body weight shift to the right. Take your right arm, reach it forward. Put it back down on the floor. Slide the right leg back. Lift it, left arm out. Back down to the floor. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Might need to step your feet back a little bit. Full size down dog today. Driving the heels to the floor. Come back up really high in the toes. And then drive the heels down. Keep doing the lift up. And lower down. And lift up. Now hold this down position. With your legs straight if you can. Breathe a few more times. Come back to your plank. Lift your left foot off the floor. And then switch to the right. And just sort of keep walking the feet. Just go up and down. Lifting and lowering. A few more times. Don't drop your face. One more time on each leg. Back to your down dog. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Meet me in a full forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Reverse swan dive all the way back up. Reach for the ceiling. And take the arms back by your side. Okay, we are going to start lying down. Believe it or not. We're going to start doing core and bridges, switching up the order, just to keep you guys guessing. So, I want you to take one weight, the heaviest one that you have. You're going to hold it out in front horizontally. Now, your legs are bent, your toes are up. You got a big bend in the legs. You're going to C-curve the spine, come down nice and slow, holding the weight just off the chest. Let the head go to the floor. And then you're going to lift the head and you're going to roll it back up. Hollowing out the belly, trying to keep your feet on the floor. So C-curve down, let the head go, tuck that chin. Pull that belly in, sit yourself back up. Let's do this a few more times, and then we're going to all meet in a bridge. So you want to really try to do these with as much control as you can. You always have the option to do them without the weight. Okay, hold it down, relax the head to the floor. You're going to put the weight just over your hips. So just let it rest there. Bend your legs. Try to walk your feet a little closer to your butt. In fact, get them as close as you can. And then I want you to do a pelvic tilt so you feel the back on the floor. And now just peel the spine up off the floor. You're in your bridge. Your feet are hip width apart. And the arms are off the floor. You're just using that weight to increase the intensity of the move. And if at any point you want to get rid of it, just take it off. Right now, you're just holding. I want you to lift your toes off the floor. So you feel those shins go to work here. Hold the toes up. Bring the knees together and squeeze them. And just hold that for 5 more seconds. Now let's open the knees. Let's put the feet down. Let's slowly lower 1 vertebrae at a time. Lower your hips back down to the floor. Now I want you to do a reverse pelvic tilt. So roll the pelvis forward. So you feel the low back off the floor. And then reverse it. Press it down, heel back up, lift your hips. Lift the toes, squeeze your knees, count to 5. Open the knees, feet down, slowly. Rounding as you lower. Roll the pelvis down. Now roll it up. Lifting back up. Now we're going to be up here for a little bit. I want you to walk your feet together. Now I want you to squeeze your knees. So the force is really starting with the knees. Just hold it about 5 more seconds. Hopefully you've got your ankles connected to one another. Now you're going to take those knees and open them up. The feet are not going to move. Open the knees as far as you can. Now, keeping the knees open, I want you to round the back down onto the floor. Slowly. It should take at least 5 counts to get down. Roll the pelvis forward. Let your knees open out even more. You might be on the edges of the feet, which is fine. Now, roll the pelvis up so you feel the low back hit the floor. Keep your knees open and peel back up. Now bring your knees together, create a lot of force here, just squeeze. Open the knees. Lower back down slowly. Let the knees splay open as wide as they want to go. Keep them open. Roll back up. Now bring the knees together at the top of the move and squeeze. Now you're going to keep the squeeze, lower your butt. Now to add on here, I want you to step forward with both feet, maybe 4 or 6 inches. So walk your feet out a little bit, keep them together, keep squeezing your knees, roll the pelvis up, lift your hips off the floor. Little more activation into the hamstrings here. Squeeze harder with your knees. Now open the knees, open the feet. Lower back down. Roll the pelvis forward and then reverse it. Keep the knees splaying open, lift back up. Bring the knees and feet, toes together, squeeze, hold at the top. Try to slide, we're not going to step, we're going to slide. Take your left heel, slide it along the floor so you've got a smaller bend in the legs. Squeeze your knees. Feet are still together. Lots more intensity. You're going to hold here, 5 counts. Slowly lower the butt. Roll the pelvis forward and then reverse it. Peel back up. While you squeeze. We're almost finished. We're going to try to slide out a tiny bit further. And keep squeezing the knees. Your butt is off the floor. It's a lot of hamstring therapy going on here. Hold it. You're here 5 more seconds. We got a nice little stretch coming up. Okay, lower the butt. Straighten the legs. Move the weight to the side. Pilates style stretch. And then let the arms pull forward, lift your head, tuck the belly, and come all the way up. Open your feet to the corners of your mat. And let's dive through the legs. So good. Hang on here and breathe just a little more. Such a great way to stretch out the legs and lower back. Okay, so if you don't have your band, go and grab it. We're going to wrap it just above the ankles. We're going to work our outer hips. Not like that. Feet. It's not a head thing. Okay, legs up. Belly down. Rib cage down. Now take your feet. I want you to play around with the angle a little bit. So move the feet forward. But pay attention to how the belly engages when you do that, because you want to brace your spine. So find a spot where you feel your tummy having to pull down, and that's a good place to start keeping the feet. Now, arms are by your side. Get nice and flat on the shoulder blades. Open up and just pull. So let's see if we can open a tiny bit more. Keep that engagement of the belly. Bring the feet back together slowly. And let's do that again. Release the band completely. Brace your spine. Open back out. Play around with the angle of the feet. You might want to move them a little more forward to make it more challenging. Now from here, I want you to open an inch farther. And bring them back together. Open up nice and wide. And bring it back together. And nice and wide. You got to really bring a lot of force to the band. Close. Open. Close. Do it again. Open up again. Now add a little pulse, go in an inch, out an inch. So you're staying nice and wide with the legs. Trying to really activate these gluteals. Keep going. Take your mind somewhere else, don't even think about it. You're here for about 10 more seconds of pulses, and then we have a 10-second hold, and then we're moving on. So get it done now. Okay, hold out. Wider. Nice job. Okay, bring your knees into the chest. Make a nice little circle to massage that back. Change up your direction. Nice. Now get rid of your bend. Rock and roll back up to a seated position. We're going to start a segment on our arms. You're going to still be lying down. So whatever weights you use for your chest presses, grab them. Now, I want your legs bent and your back on the floor. So your palms are facing away from you, and you've got nice room to the wrists. So start giving 20 presses. You can go at your pace, try to be consistent. Make sure you're trying to get these weights to connect at the top. Nice and steady. Keeping those weights centered over the chest, not the face. Okay, hold the weights up. Turn your palms to face each other. Now keep that back pressing into the floor. Open up nice and wide. So you're going to start your flies. And really try to keep the arms as straight as you can. These are often done a little slower than your presses, especially if you're using the same weight. It can be quite challenging. So we're going to see if we can get to 20, but we might be happy with 15. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Again, you're bringing them all the way together at the top. Keep your ribs low and your belly active. Press it down. Your breathing helps you, so when you're bringing those arms together, that's when you're exhaling out. Try to do 3 more. And then we'll have a little tiny break, and then we're going to transition to lat pulls. Okay. Little tiny break. Shake out your arms, your grip. Maybe grab a sip of water. Cheers. Happy Saturday. Okay, you're still going to be lying down, so we're going to do lat pulls. So, whenever you're ready, 2 weights or 1, it's exerciser's choice. So, we've got our legs bent and we're bracing the core, right? So press that flat belly down. Keep the arms straight, take them back and forward. You be the judge of how far you get them back. And again, try to find your breath here as you pull them forward. Exhale it out. So let's shoot for about 6 more. Try to do it. Make sure you're keeping those wrists neutral. Make that last one great. Oh, okay. Stay lying down, we're not going anywhere. Let's take a little break, stretch out your fingers. Quick transition now into tricep extensions. So you're still down on your back with your legs bent, either holding 2 weights or 1. So you have to keep the elbow to the shoulder very quiet and stacked. The only thing moving are the hands coming down with your weights in them and right back up. Try to keep a nice loose grip on the weights. Okay, see if you can squeeze in 3 more. Okay. So we're gonna take a break from the weights and we're gonna do some bird dogs. So stay lying down. Bring those knees into the chest just for a little stretch for your back. Now we're gonna move the knees so the knees are over your hips. Your feet are flexed and they're at the height of the knees. So take a peek. Now brace your spine by pressing that belly down towards the floor. Let's bring the arms up, wrists over shoulders. And now you know what's coming, right? Right leg out, left arm back. And then pull it back together. And switch sides. So we're not rushing these. But to keep that lower back pressing down so you've got lots of muscle activation through the belly. So our goal here is to get the arm and leg fully extended. So those muscles are active when you reach, like the arm is reaching back, the leg is reaching out. Nice and strong. Do 3 more. Nice job. Okay, knees come in. Make that nice big circle. Give yourself some love. Change your direction. Okay, now rock and roll back up. We're going to take the band again. So have it handy. Put it around your feet. Just around your feet. Now, you're gonna take one of your heaviest weights, you're gonna lie back down. Take your weight, so you're holding the ends of the weight. Now, what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna take the weight, arms stay straight. You're just gonna move it back till you feel your belly have to brace. Keep the rib cage low, the belly down. Holding that weight back there with straight arms, you're gonna pick your feet off the floor and pedal the legs. So it's a little bit of a hip flexor exercise, and it's definitely a six-pack muscle exercise. Keep that back on the floor, keep breathing, and your ribs stay nice and low. Gonna do a few more. 3, 2, and okay, bring the arms down, rock and roll back up. Put that weight down, take the band off your feet, bring your knees back into the chest. Little rock and roll with the knees. Okay, take your legs all the way down along the floor. Take the arms all the way back behind you. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Reach for the back of the room. Nice. Now bring the arms back by your side. Fingertips only on the floor. This is the Sean stretch, little rehab. Tuck those toes and knees in. You have just the smallest bend in the leg. Now you're working to keep your low back down, but if you have that natural curve through the spine and it's not touching the mat, that's totally fine. Now push those heels down towards the floor. Pull them towards your butt. Squeeze the knees, lift your hips up. Keep those 3 things that we started to activate going, all 3. With the biggest emphasis on squeezing your knees. Belly's pushing down, ribs flow. You're here for 5 more seconds. Okay, release it. Go back to that full body stretch one more time. Now we're going to bend the legs. Walk your heels into the butt as close as you can. Bring the arms back by your side. We're going to do some pelvic rocking. So you're going to just oscillate between back pressing into the floor, pelvis rotating down. Couple more times. Okay, take your right leg, extend it all the way down along the floor. Everything else stays exactly as you had it. Flex your right foot, lift that foot 2 inches off the floor. Now go up and down with the tiny pulse. Again, you're challenging the hip flexor. Now, to add on to this, I'm going to have you take your hands behind your head, lift the shoulder blades up off the floor. So now you're moving the leg a little bit and you're crunching it up. Try to lift those shoulder blades as high as you can. Tuck your chin. You're here for 5 more seconds. Nice. Now relax the head down. Slide that heel in as close as you can get it. Left leg goes up. Flex the left foot, lift it a few inches off the floor. Pulse it up and down. Let's crunch it up. Keep the leg going up and down. Tuck your chin. Now look down at the tummy. If you see it puffing up, you gotta work it down again. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Both knees pull back in, little reprieve. Okay, rock and roll all the way up. Come up onto the toes. We're gonna meet standing up. We've got bicep curls to work. And some lateral lunges. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go. So, lateral lunges means you're turning to the side. You're going to spread your feet nice and wide. We're going to bring the hands out in front, so it's going to look like this. So you're going to lunge down, and you're going to curl up, both hands together. Lunge down, and curl up. So we're going to start out just going side to side. Push your booty backwards and keep your spine from rounding. Nice loose grip as you curl up. You're just letting those weights rest in the hands. Again, it's all about bending into that knee and getting your booty down, not your upper body. So be mindful to not round your upper back. You can switch up your angle. You can turn the palms to face as you lower and then curl them up. You're about 3/4 of the way. Woohoo! We're going to add on an overhead press to this. Coming up in about 5 counts. Okay, so now curl up, press either 1 or 2 at a time. If you can do 2 at a time, do it. Come back down, lunge, hammer curl back up and press. Lunge back down to the other side, hammer curl it to a press. This is going to get your heart rate up a little bit. Too late. Keep it going. This is all good for you stuff. Again, you always have the option to alternate these presses. You can switch up your angle to a wide elbow. Just to keep the body guessing. No fun being too predictable. Do a few more. We got this. Come on. One more. Here's your last one. Make it great. Okay, put them down. So we have one more Saturday fun challenge, which is 20 push-ups. And then we're back lying down, doing 4. So 20 push-ups, we're all going to meet when they're done in a low plank position. So grab your water, your towel, whatever you need to get through these 20 push-ups. And again, elbows out 45 degrees from the body. Don't let the hips collapse or the face. Let's get it done. Nice job. Right into that low plank. When you've done your 20, just hold. Okay, quick transition onto a side plank. You're gonna roll onto that right forearm facing the left side of your room. Sweep your left arm up. Pull those hips up. Back to both forearms. Left forearm facing the right. Stack those feet if you can. Get your hips up. Straighten out that right arm, reach for the ceiling. Come back to both forearms. Let's get your elbows and palms on the floor. Lower your knees, keep your toes tucked under. 8-point plank. Elevate off the knees, go to a straight leg, push your heels back. Lower the knees. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. You have 5 more. Lower. Break coming up in 4, 3, it's nice and slow. 2, last 1. Knees down, walk the forearms back, maybe in child pose. Woo-hoo! How awesome does this feel? Sit on those feet, sit on your heels. Get a nice stretch in the lower back. Okay, come on back up. Meet me in a high plank this time. Now we're going to transition to a side plank. If you want to, actually, let's do it with the knee down first. So let's put the right knee down. Right palm moves to the center. You're going to rotate your body to face the left side of your room. So you're in a side plank with the knee down. And then you're going to transition, lift the knee up off the floor. Hold your side plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, back to a high plank. Don't put the knees down right now if you don't need to. Breaks are welcome if you must. Hold 5 more seconds. Really get control of the belly. Pull it up and in. Now let's take the left knee to the floor. Left palm in the middle, face the right. Sweep the arm. Come off that knee if you can. Hold and breathe. Get that arm nice and long, hips high. From here, we're going to transition back to our high plank in 5, 4, 3, 2, high plank. Hold it. Just 5 seconds, and then our reprieve is going to be a downward facing dog. Go there early if you want to. Okay, here we go. Downward facing dog. How good does that feel? Lift your left leg. Switch to the right. Keep your hips nice and even. Just alternate a few more times. We're going to finish the weights with some deadlifts. So let's walk our feet towards the hands. Inhale to a flat back. Reverse swan dive it all the way up. Sweep the arms all the way up to the ceiling. And now grab your heaviest weights you've got. This is your last exercise. So we're going to kickstand the right foot. So I would like us to have 80% of our body weight in our left leg. Now, as soon as I start, excuse me, my hip hinge, I try to push my hips backwards. So my whole body, it wants to sort of go forward, but I'm going to fight it. I'm not going to let it go forward. Just start going up and down with your heaviest weights. Now, if you had your leavies this morning and you're really feeling it, take the right leg as you hinge back completely off the floor and then come back up. That way, the good news about doing that is you don't need to worry about, am I weighting too much into my left leg? It takes all the guesswork out of it. Sorry, you want to be into the left leg, you're right. I meant the right. Thank you, Sean. Okay, do 3 more of these. I know they're frustrating at times. Work through it. Try to be nice and smooth. It's always a challenge when you incorporate balance. Okay, let's do a quick transition over to the other foot. So now it's all about that right leg. Kickstand it to begin with. It's a great way to ease into those muscles. Again, get your booty pushing backwards. Weight into that right heel. So now, if you can, when you start your descent, you sweep that left leg back. Come back up. Try to do a few more. Kill it for the finish. Last one, make it great. Okay, we did it. Couple of stretches. Okay, so shake out your arms, shake out your hands. You okay? Okay, so another little balance thing we got going on here and a stretch combined. You're on your left leg that you just worked. You're gonna pull your right knee up and into the chest. Try to balance doing this. Circle your ankle. Go the other way. Pull your knee as high up as you can get it, because you'll get the benefit of stretching out that butt cheek. Okay, switch sides. Left knee pulls all the way up, circle your foot. And you always have the option to find a chair or something if you need a little help, but try not to. Even if you fall off, you just get back on. Okay, put it down. Pick up the right foot again. Take it back into your hand. Now, to really get a lot of activation going on here, I want you to push your foot really hard into the hand. Little PMF stretch. From here, just for shits and giggles, let's see if we can hinge through that hip. Let's see if we can come all the way down to touch the floor with the left hand. Little dancer, and then come back up. Steady. Switch feet. Left foot up. Into that left hand. Push it as hard as you can. Create as much force as you can, and then start your hip hinge through the right hip. Let that right hand tap the floor. Please don't wait into the floor, and then come right back up. Nice. Okay, take your feet nice and wide, as far apart as you can get them. Hold all the way down, stretch out those inner thighs. Unweight your entire upper body. Just let your head dangle just above the floor. Just hold here for a little bit. Try to keep both your legs straight. Maybe now that you've been here for a bit, you might be able to widen your stance a little bit. Try it. Now, we're going to inhale to a flat back. Fingertips only on the floor, out in front. Drift your hips backwards. I want you to bend into the right leg. Let the toes come up on your left foot towards the ceiling. So you're getting this nice stretch through the groin area and inner thighs. And then reverse it. Bend into the left leg. Toes come up on that right foot. Come back to both straight legs. One hand at a time onto your hips. Spine is nice and long and parallel to the floor. Move your hips backwards. Pull both your arms forward. Strong, straight. Come back up. Walk your feet together. One last stretch before we say goodbye. Another balance challenge. Bring your feet, heels and toes touching. Clasp your fingers together. Flip the palms so they face away from you, sweep the arms up. Go up and over. Full circle from where we started. Only now we're doing this with a straight leg. Up and over to the other side. So it's the transition of going up and over, where I want you to try to equally weight both feet. Do it one more time on each side. Last time. Nice. Take a nice big deep breath. Release the hands, but reach for the ceiling. Hands to heart. Well, good. Thank you so much for your power and strength. Good job. How do we feel?
We being Sue, who did this on her own,